I'm so excited to get to talk to you guys today about Demi-Permanents. They're so incredibly versatile and they have a plethora of uses, so I'm really happy that I get to talk to you about them today. One thing I do want to point out is that our Demi-Permanents are ammonia-free as well as deposit only. They're mixed with our 9-volume developer, and standard mixing ratio is a 1:2 ratio, or for gray blending, a 1:1 ratio. So for the gray blending, you're essentially lowering the amount of developer and raising up the amount of color to really get that true gray blend. I do want to point out as well that the Demi-Permanents come in a black box with a black bottle of developer, so you can differentiate that between our gray boxes and gray bottles for our permanent collection. Just another way that Kenra makes things so simple to use. They are processed up to 25 minutes, and so the processing time really just depends on what your desired result will be. So I want to jump right in and talk about color enhancing. So this is one way that you can use our Demi-Permanents. Let's say you have a client who is a natural level 5 and she just wants to have maybe a little bit more vibrance in her hair. So a great way to do that, let's say she wants a little bit more, she wants to be like a 5RB. So you can actually use our Demi-Permanent 5RB on her hair with 9, so you would use 1 ounce of 5RB to 2 ounces of 9-volume. And that will give her a beautiful 5RB with all of the wonderful benefits that you get from our Balancing Complex 5 as well. Another great way to use Demi-Permanents is color equalizing. So let's say you have a client who is a 7CG and she's come in for a root retouch and she's 50% gray. So you mix up your formula for her root retouch, which is going to incorporate an N series to get that gray coverage. Now, you wouldn't want to pull that all the way through or mix up the same formula for her mids and ends, because that N is going to, over time, make her hair look more brown, and it's not going to really have an even match between her roots and her mids and ends if you do that. So a great way you can get a nice even palette would be to use our Demi-Permanent. So you can use that permanent formula with gray coverage on her roots, and then you would use the Demi-Permanent formula without the N in it for her mids and ends to get a truly even tone with no demarcation line. Another great way to use our Demi-Permanents is for toning. I love using it for toning, but I do want to back up just a little bit and quickly point out that for our enhancing and equalizing methods, it would be applied on dry hair and processed for 25 minutes. For toning, it's going to be on damp hair. Towel dried is going to be best on shampooed, conditioned, and towel dried hair. And that's where it gets up to 25 minutes because every client is different, as well as what your desired tone is. Sometimes you just want a hint, sometimes you really want it to saturate. It really just depends. So for toning, like I said, you're going to want to shampoo and condition before you put it on, so you're really getting the most even porosity for the hair. And another great tool that you can use is our porosity equalizing spray, but I'll talk about that in a moment. Next, I do want to talk about gray blending. Just want to back up just a little bit and mention one more thing about toning, because it's my absolute favorite thing that I can use our Demi-Permanents for, and that is pre-toning. So I mentioned it previously when we were going over some of our other color families, but with pre-toning, if you're using our Demi-Permanents, you can use our rapid toners or even just some of the Demi-Permanents, the other Demi-Permanents, but my favorite, especially if I want those cooler blondes, I love toning with our rapid toners, either SV or VP. Those process for up to 5 minutes. They do process really quickly, so you can't leave the bowl. You have to stay at the shampoo bowl and really watch it and rinse it as soon as you get that desired tone. Pre-toning is a wonderful way to get that beautiful silvery tone that you want. You can also really use that for, let's say you want to have those metallic colors. Leave that SV on there for that full 5 minutes. Get it nice and icy, and then you can use your 10 SM to get a really beautiful silver. So now going back to our gray blending, Demi-Permanents are a wonderful way to get gray blending up to 75%. Again, you're mixing it at a 1-to-1 ratio, 1 part color, 1 part 9 volume developer. For gray blending, I do like to leave it on for that full 25 minutes to get that true gray blend. And then you can also use it for Demi-Permanents as a clear gloss. So we do have our Demi-Permanent clear gloss. It is completely pigment free, but still retains all of the benefits of the Balancing Complex 5. I love using this on clients who want that added shine, but don't necessarily want to color their hair. So if you have a haircut client, this is a wonderful add-on service that you can provide them. If you have a blonding client who usually comes to you for color, but she's come to you in between for maybe a trim, and she still loves her tone, but maybe her hair has gotten a little lackluster and she wants that shine, you can use our clear gloss to give her that shine. So these are just some of the ways that I love using the Demi-Permanents, but I'd love to hear what your favorite ways to use Demi-Permanent color is. Yeah, I love it too.